just telling you, if you have such a huge number in Egypt, I think they could have changed a lot if they are all working the same effectively. So I think this is something very important, to organize the funds, to organize the donations, everything. Not just anyone who wants, dreaming of making an NGO, go ahead, just make an NGO. And no one at the end of the day is monitoring what is going on. Just as you were talking right now about the constitution, we need a monitor system for or evaluation for all what is going on when it comes to the economic issues. We need the same with the NGOs. What are you doing throughout the year? What did you achieve?
And before then, they need to have a program as well for which satisfies the purposes of why they are established. I know perfectly well, because I'm member of plenty of NGOs in Egypt and regionally and abroad as well, global NGOs. The main problem of all NGOs is the lack of funding, okay? So if this is secured together with a decent program that will realize development on the ground for the people, this is the real crux of the importance of NGOs. Plus, they need capacities to be built in them in order to monitor and evaluate the activities. This is the thing that you were talking about right now. I think the most competent authority that can do that, and obviously we tend to reinvent the wheel every 2-3 years. We revamp the law, we cancel the law, we restart by redrafting a new law, and changing ideas and thoughts about who are the real players. So the Federation of NGOs had a plan to receive the funding for all NGOs, and as well to build their capacity as well in monitoring and evaluation, development programs that they gather from the grassroots themselves. So where is that in the new law? I haven't seen, from what I read in today's newspapers, in all of the newspapers on this subject, nothing of the like. So I hope this is taken into consideration by Dr. Al-Borai when he receives the draft and so on by coming week, inshallah.
Otherwise, they will make it after 3 years.
Inshallah.
So moving on to another headline. Egyptian-Saudi naval maneuvers Morgan 14 wrapped up. Egyptian-Saudi naval maneuver Morgan 14 wrapped up on Thursday. This comes in the framework of military cooperation for both states for best military performance. I think this is something very good.
I think it's excellent, because it's a protection, a mutual protection for the Red Sea. And I'm not a military expert, as you know, but I see it as a bright spot. Instead of the bright star that was cancelled, the joint training with the U.S. forces. So we are working with our brothers and strategic allies in Saudi Arabia and in the Arab countries. It's a bright spot.
Right on from El Wafd newspaper, Judges Club says presidential pardon for the female protester is an intervention in the judiciary. Deputy of Judges Club Councillor Abdullah Fathi asserted his rejection of calls to make interim president to issue a pardon for the girls detained in prison in Alexandria for 11 years. He said the pardon would be interfering in judiciary. President Mansour, if issued a pardoning, this will not be acceptable as an interference in the judiciary, the club said. Fathi spoke in a phone call with NBC Must on Thursday, saying that the girls being young is not acquitting them. We were talking about this in the very beginning. Yes. And again, they are talking about 11 years, and I wish we can understand more about
yes, we need to clarify that. And the good thing as well is that our temporary president, Councillor Adli Mansour, is a judge himself, yes, is a legal person, is a constitutional court head.
I was just thinking about this even minutes ago, and I believe that he is the only one to be trusted because he was the head of the constitutional court. So absolutely, nothing is more than this to feel safe or secure.
He would understand perfectly well whether it would be the right time in order to do the pardon or not. And of course it is his right. This is something not to be denied. But at the same time, the Club of Judges have a good point as well by saying no one should intervene into the law. So it's a delicate matter that has to be sorted in the coming days. And again, we go back to the point that we have started with. Before pardoning those girls, or not pardoning them, they have to be rehabilitated. The mindset itself. We have to address them. We have to clarify to them what is right, what is wrong, Why are you demonstrating? Why are you causing this insecurity? Why are you putting yourself into this situation, which is against what all Egyptians want?
You know, sometimes
Really.
I believe that this is our role, the role of the parents, the role of the universities, the
Absolutely.
professors as well, because we just leave them for something that at the end of the day, still, again, they are victims of this.
And the religious institution as well.
Yes,
I would put
definitely.
Al-Azhar as well as a key player in this.
Right. Activist Ala Abdel Fattah arrested after protesting without a permission. Egyptian police arrested political activist Ala Abdel Fattah on Thursday after the prosecutor ordered to be detained for inciting protests. He was ordered arrested along with founder of April Movement Ahmed Meher after taking part in protests organized outside Shura Council on Tuesday, protesting against military trials for civilians without having a permission for the protest.
Rule of law has to be protected. I can't give anyone an excuse to infringe the law. This is the bottom line.
It is time now to apply the law, to accept.
Absolutely. Last time we talked, we said we have plenty of laws in this country. They need to be filtered. They need to be
Yes, I remember
enforced.
we talked about it before, that every time
Yeah.
I said, every time we talk about something, we are going to draft a new law. Why? We have the laws, just apply it. Just force them right now. I think this is the only solution to be out of all what is going on.
Yeah, and strong measures in applying the law would prevent anyone else as well to follow suit in such a way. Enough of chaos. Now we have to restore stability and build our country.
Right.
Okay.
At the end, Dr. Doha Abdelhamid, Professor of Financial Economics and International Development Expert, thank you very much for joining
Thank you.
us.
It was a pleasure being with you
Thank
today.
you very much. And right now, before we proceed, let's move on to this report to check out together more about our stock market, and we'll be back to resume the breakfast show.
Stock market indexes decreased by almost 0.5%, and experts say that this is completely natural due to the closing of major trading sessions for the end of the month.
Today is a very low in liquidity. We are talking about 200 million. It's very healthy to decrease in index. We reach for measured points. We have 6,400, and we are now lower. We reach till 6,176. All the week was fluctuated between selling and buying between foreigner, Egyptian, and local. But for today, local are buying, and foreigner and Arab are selling.
بدأ السوق النهارده على انخفاض طفيف الصراحة مش كبير.
Today the market started with a lower decrease than yesterday. It decreased about 25 points and started to stabilize at that level. The reasons for this decrease are several. It might be because of the closing of the end of the month by financial centers and institutions, so they're not buying as much. Another reason could be purely technical, meaning the index was at 6,500 points. It couldn't move up any further, so it naturally went through a correction phase.
المؤشر ابتدى يدينا مؤشرات ضعف في أدائه من منطقة 6500 عدم قدرته ان هو يطلع فوقيها.
First of all, this is normal because it is completing the cycle. We're approaching the end of the month, and that's normally what happens. And people start to collect profits, if you like. So what happened is expected.
Experts say that this decrease will quickly turn into an increase in the index at the start of the coming month. Lina Hasaballah, Nile TV International.